These are the percent of people who are extremely or somewhat confident in the housing market going forward. And this quarter, Q2 of 2023, 43% think that the housing market will remain strong over the next year. That is stable from last quarter that also had 43%. Now, the previous quarter, so Q4 2022, we were much lower. I'm not sure if they have that number, but I just see it on the line graph. You can see it's obviously okay. So in Q4 2022, I got to do the math really quick. 35%. Is that right? 43 minus 8, yes, is 35.
Nice.
I know. I'm not even good at math. And I did that myself. All right. But yes, now you can see the embarrassment on my face here. The upshot to all of this is that things are stable. I think this is like a stable uncertainty that we've experienced throughout the year of 2023. I think that there are maybe some signs that things are picking up, but not really evident from this glimpse of housing sentiment from Freddie Mac. And it completely, I understand that mortgage rates are high. No one's putting their homes on their market. Less people are building homes. It's not great. It's not a great situation to be in right now. It is interesting if you look at that. It is the times when housing was roaring, when prices were going up so much, people were really confident, and then interest rates go up and people become less confident. It is as sure of a cause and effect as you can see.
It's the housing market being strong, like these types of polling or surveys.
It's a really general question to ask too. Like, in what way?
Yeah, I was about to say, because it reminds me a lot of when, like in politics, they ask the right track, wrong track question.
Yeah.
And they'll say, majority of the country thinks majority of people think the country's headed on the wrong track, without thinking. You could poll a Democrat, you could poll a Republican, and you could poll an independent and ask them whether they think the country's on the right track, wrong track question.
Mm-hmm.
All three of them could say the wrong track for entirely different reasons.
Yeah.
And so taking that into this, when you say strong, is it the sense that, okay, well, I don't think if I'm living in Newport Beach, California, I think the housing market's strong because I don't think the value of my house is just going to bottom out at any point in time. Okay. But I really wonder what they mean by strong and what that is supposed to mean moving forward.
Yeah, no, I think that's a really good point. If anything, you looking at the trend, you can correlate it to kind of improving or decreasing, increasing or decreasing home prices, but it's more useful when you're kind of pairing it with more discrete and measurable piece of data, and one of which,
like, I think a more meaningful study would be how many 20-year-olds think that they're going to be able to buy a house in 20 years. Something like that. Granted, I can understand when they say they think the housing market's strong. Okay, I can get that compared to, say, like office, where a lot of people have determined they don't need a use for an office anymore, despite the fact that I don't think anyone's ever going to say that they don't need a home.
Yeah. No, I agree.
A place to live.
Yeah. Now, skipping ahead to CoreLogic, they do have, this is more of a measurable way of figuring out where the housing market's going. Is home prices. Now, these are April numbers, so things have almost certainly changed in May and also in June. But they have it at a small annual decline, down by 2% in April. Now, need I remind you of this wonderful picture that I made and I almost posted on the Great Capital social media last night? Some people see this annual increase or the annual decrease, and some people are looking at a monthly increase. It depends on what point you want to make. I also think that you can think about both of them. The annual decrease is a product of the whole year, and the monthly decrease, if you're kind of looking for the future, I think it's worth looking at the past few months instead of just looking at the whole year. That's just me. But one thing to note is that if you're looking at these monthly increases, we are at slightly above average. Now I'll show you this here. Now let's put it in picture. See, the line for April 2023 is this is this blue line that is reasonably above the price growth from 2015 to 2019, really even including 2020. It's only in 2021 and 2022 where Aprils were as expensive as they were where April home price growth was as strong as it was this year. So I think that we are, if you look at that now, the steadiness, maybe, it's not increasing, it's steady, but if home price growth remains steady throughout the summer, then it will still be above average, because right now we are above peak home price growth on a month-to-month level. We're right there. And so I think that's very promising. And it's something that you can't really see if you only look at the annual numbers. Now, just to fly through this, now the NAR, National Association of Realtors, had a similar kind of a sentiment. Now they call it confidence. It is well in line, I think, with general housing sentiment and well in line with the price growth. But it's good to have a little bit more perspective here. So with supply still limited relative to demand, 31% of homes sold above list price, down slightly from 33% last month, but down 55% a year ago. So a little less than a third of homes are sold above list. Now compare that to 55. The comparison is what's really crazy. 74% of these realtor respondents reported that properties sold in less than 1 month, essentially flat from a month ago and down from 88% in May 2022. Homes got an average of 3.3 offers, which is up slightly from last month, but down from 4.2 offers in May 2022. First-time home buyers is essentially flat from actually last month and a year ago. And 25% of buyers had all cash sales, which is down from 28% last month and unchanged from last year. So still the same amount of cash buyers. Confidence in general, whether you're talking housing sentiment or housing confidence, it's easier when you have this report of, okay, how long has it remained on the market? How many bids has it? How many is over, is under? I think that those are more practical than seeing how do you feel? Well, what if you get an optimistic guy? I always feel good about everything. I have a thing, I can't make an investment based on that. Well,
and it's interesting to get some data on people that are in the market. They're either selling or buying, as opposed to someone that's I feel extremely strong and optimistic about the housing market.
Yeah. Now I did looking into the detail of those. Looking at the detail of those, it did say average time that a house is on the market, and it was almost 30 days across the board. And I wonder I don't know. I'm very curious about the consistency of that 30 days. Wow. Maybe they take it off after 30 no matter what, but I don't know.